Hello. I've just been having some thoughts. Let me show you where I am. There with, just having a drink. Always professional to the bitter end. So it's Tuesday night, and I am looking at the waves, listening to the waves, and I don't know what it is, but like, I've been thinking about like relationships and sponsorships and brand deals and just YouTube as a whole ecosystem nowadays. And I don't even really like thinking of like stuff like this, but massive YouTubers, it genuinely feels sometimes like they've got a brand deal and they just need to put anything out on their YouTube channel, and it's like, this video is sponsored by mattresses. Or, no disrespect, I'd love to have this myself, like NordVPN or Lords Mobile or Clash of Clans, or just all of the apps. I did a joke the other day on Instagram about Chuck Norris, who's actually promoting a gaming app at the moment. But as an independent podcast, I have to like do all of this groundwork myself. And it just feels a bit corporate and a bit like one of my favourite sayings is, people that feel appreciated will always do more than expected. And I've spoken to a couple of companies recently, and they want me to like join their brand ambassador scheme. And by me paying them money of something like, I think it's £7 a month, I get discount on their clothing, and I get to promote their products with my code, which would be like Bedlam10 or something, and that sale I would get 10%. So that means some months I'm not even making any money, because I'd have to buy the clothing to promote the clothing. Do you know what I mean? It just feels a bit like a Ponzi scheme, and I just think that small companies can do better to market their products. I don't know, it just feels a bit like sort of culty and a bit rubbish. And I used to have a thing with a brand called Ocean Bowl. And this is back when I had like Ashens on the podcast. And basically I got a 15% code through a app which Ocean Bottle used, called, what was it called? It was an app on my phone called like Ambassadorship or something. And to be fair, the first bottle that you bought from Ocean Bottle, you got, I think it was a 60 or 80% code to buy your first bottle, because you can't promote something if you're not actually engaging in it, you know. But it just, like, if I want to promote your products, first things first, I need your products. And then hopefully, and this is the real contention that I've noticed with like brands and sponsorships and stuff, hopefully I'll be able to get you some sales. But if you start giving me jip and you start messaging me about my quota, that just kills my desire to promote your products. And I don't know if that comes from a sense of bitterness or a sense of the reality that I don't have a huge community and a huge influence over my community. But it makes me not want to promote it, which is awful. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like doing Instagram posts, because I just feel like this constant like every opportunity you get, you should plug something constantly and ram it down people's throats and eliminate the choice that people have, and use code Bedlam10. It gets to a point where your YouTube channel just feels like a massive ad. And I think talking to people like Blue Van Man and people that are not afraid to go against the status quo and the popular things kind of reinforces this like sense that I'm not the only one that thinks like this, where I don't know, like back in the day, I've always wanted to talk about this, like 20 years ago, YouTube didn't exist 20 years ago. It was about 18 years old, I think. You know, like Smosh, one of the first YouTube channels, they weren't wearing their own merch. They were like actively wearing other clothes, when the quickest and easiest thing for them to do would be to go to their warehouse and wear their own clothes. Whereas now it's like, you see Mr. Beast constantly promoting Feastables, which is fine. The Sidemen, I think they get like a yellow card if they show up to a film set or film shoot not wearing their own clothing. Which, you know, is fine. It's not hurting anyone. But it's that sense of like, the cool kids at school get the Tamagotchis and the yo-yos and the, what they called, the things that go down the stairs, the springs. I can't even remember what they're called. And the uncool kids kind of get left in the dust. I feel like that's like related to that. But I don't know, it just still feels a bit like peer pressure-y and a bit like, but don't get me wrong, when I record the podcast, if I've got a can of goat nearby and I've got a candle on the go, then I'll record with those things nearby. But I'm not gonna like actively promote it. Like, I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, because like George Janko, who's one of my favourite podcast shows, he's always promoting Celsius. Constantly, in every frame of every YouTube video, there's a Celsius in the back, a can of it. And Logan Paul's similar. He's like the king of marketing, Logan Paul. He's always got Lunchly and Prime in the background of his podcast, and I think he even tried to promote it whilst his daughter was being born, which is a bit mental. But yeah, I don't know, it just all feels a bit like, a bit dirty and a bit like not genuine, and like your entire YouTube channel is just selling products. And it's very, I'm worried for the very impressionable kids that watch things like Ryan's Toy Reviews and FGTV and Mr. Beast. And there's a lot of power in those channels to sort of sway an audience. And I just hope sometimes that it's being used correctly, that you're actually trying to sort of ethically give people good moral lessons and help them with their life problems, and you're not just trying to shill products, you know, like weaponizing kids to make them go and buy your latest Easter egg or blind bag or plate set. It's endless nowadays what YouTubers do. But I'm still waiting for Joe Weller's water to come out. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit old, maybe I'm just a bit of a boomer, but I'm genuinely interested to know what you guys think about this, because I've got sponsors, you know, I've got to practice what I preach to an extent. I'm not saying all sponsors are bad, but I'm just saying that, like, when you own a company, then it's like there should be a certain amount that you're allowed to promote it on YouTube, I think. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Bye.